All right, I'm live again. Oh, wait, I have 14 viewers. Did it resume the stream? That probably is a lie. Are you lying to me? Yeah, I think you're lying to me. Yeah, it says 8 people watching, but it's not 8 people watching this stream, so I'll put the link in the chat. Alright, new stream. So hopefully that will work. Hello. Cool. People are here. Great. I'm going to re-update the description on my video. Just a moment. I don't know. I'll have to see if I can hit like the stop button on the other thing. So it seems like it's still live on my channel page, but whatever. Ein Moment, por favor. Oh man, my computer is so like gross now. Oh God, like it's just covered in grime. Alright, I'm gonna hit the stop button on this one. Yes. Cool. Oh, so much dust and grossness. Ugh, yeah. Alright. Yeah. I mean, it's less bad than I feared it would be. Like wow, I hear myself echoing through Julie's computer. But yeah, does that feel a little bit more straight? I can't tell. Nope, no spiders. I mean, there's cobwebs down here, but it's not like crazy spiders or anything. Like there's a bug floating here. Yeah, there you go. I just got that one. So it's not bad. It's overall it's a decent space, and the air down here is less bad than I thought it would be. I have definitely cleaned up stuff down here before and found myself just like having tons of trouble breathing. So it might also just be I'm in a better state today than usual. I have a lot of variation in exactly how screwed I get on being able to breathe. So, okay, this is recycling. Whoa! This is garbage, which I'm gonna set right here for now. Okay. Unfortunately, this is a sad thing. So Jess got me this really cool like solar marble machine kit. So it's like solar powered, and it like makes the little marbles go up and then they come back down. Unfortunately, I'm gonna turn this a little. Nope, that did not work. I'm gonna turn this a little bit. Nope, I'm gonna knock it over. Now, I don't actually like any of the angles that I have for this so far. Now, lighting is hard. I feel like I'm way too brightly lit on this side, but I don't have enough to do anything about it. Is this dying? This feels like it's dying now. Yeah, my bright LED lights are finally dying out, so I guess I know how long they run for. I do have power down here for those, so I could do something about it, but going to move my USB battery out of the oncoming spread of water. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, so this was like a nice little kit. It was like a thinky kit. Unfortunately, it like while putting it together, I fucked up one of the leads, and then like it was never gonna work, and so it's like a $25 kit that I just never got a chance to put together. I was really sad about it at the time, but I just didn't have the energy to deal with it. Still makes me a little bit sad, but I'm gonna throw it away, so I stopped thinking about how sad it makes me. So is my new stream's not doing the blocky thing as much, right? It seems like it's actually working better. Seems to me. Yeah, smoke alarm needs new battery. You are correct. I had not realized that until like this week that was happening. So I don't know how long it's been happening. I don't usually spend enough time down here that I would hear it multiple times, but it definitely needs a new battery. Yeah, so the old stream had a ton of blockiness for me watching in... Oh, I'm watching in Safari. I'm dumb. Okay, so Safari has a stupid bug, and it has had this stupid bug since shortly before I left YouTube, where, like, some streams get in a weird state where just, like, ignores, like, the key... Like, it will only work on keyframes. I don't know why. Like, it's dumb. But, yeah. Hello, Paul's Place. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we're cleaning out my basement. It's a fun party stream, you know? Like, everybody's like, hey, let's party up in here. Oh, and I'm sorry for anyone who got double notifications. It was like, my phone just decided to stop broadcasting things, so what can you do? Okay, so what do we got? Oh, here, I got a special thing. Ooh, that was dumb. Alright, so, I have a Super Nintendo. I have an NES. I have a GameCube. I have an original Game Boy. Like, I got a whole bunch of game systems in here that I'd totally forgotten I even had. I've also got, like, alkaline rechargeable batteries that have been sitting in here for a long time. Not good, not great. Can you just throw batteries away now? Like, I don't know. Can you, like, is this, like, I need to, like, set these aside and find, like, a toxic waste disposery to take my batteries? Or are they small enough that nobody cares anymore? I never really know. I mean, I know that I shouldn't throw them away, but I don't know if they actually do anything different with them any other place. So, oh, and these are, like, okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't know if you're supposed to, like, do better things with them. But yeah, the contacts on this, you won't be able to see this, but on the inside of this have gone away. Am I okay? I'm trying to figure out if I want to change my light setup or anything, but I think the answer is no. But goddamn. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to take this shitty towel that is garbage anyway, and I'm going to place it in the oncoming path of water so that I can stop some of the spread. So, ein Moment. Yeah, so the oncoming spread of water, which you may not be able to see much of, but you can see that, like, over there is the bulkhead door, and that's like all the water comes down, and you can see my big pile of cardboard boxes and recyclables over there, and then this is the water slowly creeping towards the rest of my basement. So all right, yeah, and now my LED panel you can see rather than as one giant glowing thing as instead a set of individual LEDs because it has run out of power after an hour and a half of being running at full power. So good to know. It's a new thing to me that I didn't have until recently. So I didn't know how long it lasted, and now I know. So if I'm going to be using the light for more than an hour and a half, I need to make sure that I have a power source available. Which is good information to have. All right, let us toss these over here. The laundry. Okay. Yeah, so that's another thing. It's over there somewhere over here. Maybe here. I have like a PS2 and a PS1 and an N64 and a bunch of other stuff. And like I'm not sure any of them work, but I've talked about sending them to Protostamp, who does repairs on these types of things, and being like, hey, like if you can get money for them, go for it. But I have not gotten around to doing it, in part because I've been trying to think if I want to do like a setup with like a wall of like, because all these people who do like YouTube full time and they have this like gorgeous setup with all the shelves and everything else behind them of all like, oh, I do games, so I'm going to make myself a backdrop, blah, 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 blah. And so I've been just trying to think of it like, do I want to make myself one of those fancy backdrops? And so that has kind of slowed my interest in doing that. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I am going to bring out your dead. Wait. Bring out your dead. Okay. So this, you can't see me. I have this stupid pole, man. I gotta, oh, something here. Ugh. Okay. First of all, you are gonna move farther back. Oops, sorry. All right. I'm gonna sit here for a minute and take a break because I am. The water is coming. It's raining outside, and our back door isn't like it's down a set of stairs, and so the water like comes in from that. I'm gonna turn this off. Oh wow, that changes the brightness a lot. There we go. That looks better. Okay, yeah, so, I need a break, so let's open the drinks. Wild fermented super dry cider with a AH at the end from Urban Farm Fermentory. We believe the people's spirit is raised by culture. UFF is an experimental farm fermentation factory and community engagement hub located in Maine. It is here that we craft authentic products using local and foraged ingredients when available. To sample our full selection of blah, 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 come visit us. Our hard apple cider is just that. Maine apples and naturally occurring yeast, giving it a dry, complex, and fruity profile. Slight variations can be found from batch to batch. All right. Hi, Miss Danny. This is cider. It is not sweet. Woo! Very bitter. For me, very like tangy. It's a tangy cider. Okay, I'm pulling my laptop out for a minute. Take a break. Should have gotten not a flamethrower. The problem is there's stuff I want to keep. Like Jose. Oh, Jose, do you have a drawing pad, like a Wacom tablet that you're happy with? Anyway, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, so just behind me you can see the remnants of my 3D printer. The 3D printer is a PrinterBot Plus. It was a good 3D printer for its time, but it has passed its time. Okay, cool. Then I will give this one to another person locally. Yeah, so I have a bamboo Wacom tablet that I think, like, Alicia had one, and then she lost the pen for it when we moved, and so I bought her a new one, but apparently I never even opened it. So I have, like, a brand new Wacom tablet, that, like, bamboo Wacom tablet that I've never opened, so, which I know it's not, like, a super great Wacom tablet, but it's fine. It's like a $100 thing, so. But yeah, this is, like, part of it is, like, I found all of the parts of my Phantom 2, which is fine. So, like, I can take that and give that to somebody and be like, hey, here's a drone. I've got a Chromebook that I'll check and see if it still works. At this point, it's, like, 6 years old, so I don't know if it's still worth even, like, doing something with, but no, so she lost the pen, but you couldn't buy just the pen, or rather, I lost the pen. Like, somehow in the move, I lost the pen, or I felt at least responsible for losing the pen. And so I was like, okay, I will buy you a new pen, but then you couldn't buy just the pen anywhere, or it costs, like, almost as much as the tablet, so I just bought a new tablet for her. But then I think that she got busted, and I was like, I'm not giving you a gift when, like, I'm yelling at you at the same time. And so, like, I ended up, like, backing away from it, and then I guess I never gave it to her, so. This is a Acer Chromebook. The battery here looks totally fine. It does not seem problematic from the outside, but Well, yeah. So I'm gonna take the. I have a friend locally who went to. I think sort of like Jose went to like an art institute and now does like UX design stuff or wants to get into UX design stuff. So I don't know if he has a tablet. I'll check with him. Yeah. So here now I've actually got something resembling like a 3-point setup. I've got a light here, which is my like unreflected CFL. It's like my main light, my key light, or main key fill. I've got a light over here, which is with the reflector, which is acting as my fill light, and then behind me I've got a light facing my backdrop, which I think is the backlight. So I think I've actually now like set up a very typical 3-point setup. So. Cider in a can. Yeah. I mean, cider in a can is not that unusual around here, and most of the like crafty indie breweries use cans because it's way easier to get a canning setup than it is to get a bottling setup, and so yeah, a lot of the craft ciders that are done by smaller orgs around here use cans. So. I mean, you don't always have like I think, but this is I think a very typical 3-point setup. But yeah, hard cider in a can. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Okay. Deep breaths. Okay, this is garbage, right? This is my garbage bin. Yeah. Yes, this is garbage. Okay. Yeah, I just took the 2 towels out and used them to stop some of the flow of water in my direction. Great. Okay, made some progress. Deep breath. Back into the mines. I have to turn this. There we go. I do like my phone now has spider webs like coming off of it as I like carried it around to things or whatever. But all right. So one of my goals here is to get. Oh yeah. So what I was showing you before I stopped is that I'm pretty sure, not positive, but pretty sure that this blanket with a rainbow on top and a rocking horse on it was the blanket that I carried with me everywhere when I was like ages 0 to like 10 or something. So it's a super tiny blanket. Only works for a very small child, but still got that. How do bricks... These bricks are like crumbling. Like... I don't understand this. Like, what causes this? Hello, Goth Teen. Welcome. Like, look at this brick. Like, why is this brick, like, dust? And why are the ones next to it not? Aren't they? Are they? I mean, I guess they weren't. Like, bricks aren't all made of the exact same material, I guess. So, like, but, like, why is this damp? But then, like, why not the other ones? Is it just these were the ones that didn't have the, like, the anti-dampness stuff on them? Oh yeah, no, it's a lot of mess. There's no doubt. Yeah, so this is my 3D printer. So PrinterBot Plus, heated bed, 8-inch by 8-inch print area. All of these pieces are laser cut wood. So this was like a Kickstarter project that then turned into a real thing. PLA like gets ruined if it stays out, right? Like this is what you have to store with desiccant. So I should not try and have someone use this. Like this is just dead at this point. So I should just get rid of that. I feel bad, but it's like $30 of filament, although there's probably another $100 of filament back there that I've gotten rid of as well. Yeah, okay, so that's dead. So this is still a fine power supply, I expect. I don't even know. This is like the power supply that came with it. I don't even know what this is. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so that's probably good. Are the NEMA motors worth anything? Yeah, so 3D printers print off of PC power supplies. That's right. The funny thing about that, like the funniest bit of that to me, is that like they don't They don't do anything special, right? And so, like, in order to use this, like, oh, let me see if I can unplug this quickly. I can't remember exactly where it all plugs. Pull this out. Pull that. Pull this. All right. Yeah. So this is just like a PC power supply, right? Okay. So like, okay, it's like use this PC power supply, but they don't. It's not. It's nothing special. And the way that you use it, they're like, oh, just like jumper these two pins together because that's how you tell it to work. Like just do that. It's fine. It's not a problem. Like just stick a jumper in these pins because that's how you tell an XT power supply that it's like plugged into something. Yeah. So this is probably a 350 watt power supply if I remember correctly. Yeah, 350 watt power supply. So yeah, it's not something that most people, like a gamer PC would have in it, but it's still like a fine power supply. So I will set this in the, see if I can find anyone who wants it bucket, or put it out on the street. Like that's fine. Yeah, this is my basement. But yeah, I was just amused at that. But yeah, so like, I've got, okay, so the CPU fan doesn't really matter. The heated bed, like, it's not useful for anything else at this point. I did like that they, for this printer, they did kind of like a nice, like, wire wrap setup. Like, it was a nice build. And it was the first time I'd done any soldering of any kind whatsoever. So I learned a lot from it. But there were parts of it that were always bad. And then at one point I was trying to fix one of them, and I just literally, like, snapped a chunk of wood off of it. And so there's, like this piece here, you can see that like this bottom part is gone, and like there was actually like a whole other half of this that like belonged with it, and it's just gone. So like this printer's dead. I just need to trash the pieces. The only question is whether there's any use in me taking like the NEMA motors, like the hot end. I didn't want to get into like someone trying to reuse that. But whether using the motors for anything is still useful for somebody, or if I should just trash them, I don't know. Like these rods are fine, but there's just like, they're like $2 metal pieces, and like getting them to somebody is just not worth it. So unless someone in the stream is in the area and really wants these exact pieces, but I imagine that if I gave them to you, you would have the same problem I do, which is that they would sit in your basement for the next 2 years, and then you would have to throw them away. But yeah, so it was like the first time I'd done like a serious build. Yeah, well, I mean, and that's the thing though, is that like these are like, all of the parts of this were basically like, ignoring the laser cut wood parts, they're all like $1.50 parts on McMaster Car. Like the only reason that these have any, like that this was valuable was because it like put the whole kit together, and I don't think that's useful anymore. I will probably take the motors out, and yeah, and like, yeah, this was fine for its time, but time has moved on, and it's time to get a new, like something better is better. I'll probably take the motors off and save them, because I know that the motors are like, people use them for other things, but that's it. And I don't actually remember if these motors, oh yeah, they've got the super long cables, right? Okay, so yeah, so that'll be what I'll keep out of that, but that's it. I'm going to throw away all the wood. I will keep the power supply, and I will keep the motors. I will ask at work if anybody wants the motors, and I'll bring them into the makerspace. Otherwise, they will just go in the trash as well. Okay, so that is the thing I need to sort through. The liquor is something I need to sort through. I did read your thing about cross country. I'm glad that you got a letter in cross country. I'm sorry you can't run next year. That sucks. Oh, because it's your senior year now, or it will be your senior year? You can't run next year because you're going to be out of high school. That seems like good. I guess I'd rather you not be able to run next year than be able to run next year, because that would mean you would still be in high school. Alright, so let me set this blanket pile aside. Now we've got some papers here that I'm going to put in this papers box for now. Ooh, that box is labeled China, and I don't think it's because it came from China. I think it's because it has China in it. The YouTube app froze. The YouTube app didn't quite freeze. It continued to allow me to broadcast audio but not video. But I know how important it is to everyone to see my beautiful face. Or more importantly, I think showing them the things like my 3D printer and stuff like that is actually the interesting part of the stream. So, all right. These bricks worry me. Oh, here's the other thing that I love, and this is something I've seen in a couple of these different houses. I've seen this now both in this house and in the previous house. Is like, yeah, like our bricks didn't quite go together, but you know, like. Like, what is all this? like, what is? I mean, it's like insulation foam stuff. It's like it feels like plastic. It's like moldable plastic of some kind. But yeah, no, most of the bricks are fine. It's just like a few on this outside. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4-ish that are, yeah. just like oh yeah, just like shove that in there. Also, I don't know like what this people just stored wood up here. I don't know, there's all kinds of things we got there. Oh yeah, no, this is the cable wire, and this is like the actual electrical stuff down here, and like whatever, but it's definitely like it's a mess. It's just a mess. You got these weird, I don't even know what these blue wires are. I feel like I followed them at one point, but I don't know. And then we have forced hot water, so these are all the water pipes. Yeah, we had knob and tube. I think we had some knob and tube in the previous house. We did have. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so I was. So we had the guy come in to work on the pipe got blocked. The sewer pipe got blocked, and he was like taking it out, and he was like, "What the hell?" So it turns out that our main 3.5-inch sewer pipe was still sealed with rope and tar. So when he pulled the cap out, it just the whole thing just disintegrated. And then it turns out that the pipe is just after 100 years, it did not fit any of his standard size sewage pipe caps. And so he literally he got a lead one and just spent an hour or 30 minutes pounding it back into place so it would be a size that would fit in there. It was just a nightmare for him. So, yeah, the fires in California are fucking terrible. I'm really sorry for anyone affected by that. If you are in a voluntary evacuation order, get the fuck out. Get out now. Don't look back, because it is a bad scene and people have died trying to get away. Get out now, get out now, get out now. If you are living in a house with your parents, beg them to leave. Do not allow them to wait until evacuation is mandatory. Find someplace else to go. I will help you if needed. It's scary. It's scary and it's getting worse quickly. It's 0% contained as far as I saw last time, so. And then it's a bunch of fires right now, right? It's not one fire, it's a whole bunch. Oh yeah, so another interesting thing is that batteries for drones will be listed as 3 cells or 4 cells, and basically it's how, a little bit, it's how much voltage you get out of them. And so this is a case where the cover was off of one of these, and you can actually see the 3 individual cells from this 3C or 3 cell battery. I don't remember what the phrasing is of this anymore, but this is each one of these generates 2.7 volts type of thing, and blah 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 blah. But they're all just kind of wired together in parallel to drive the battery. So that is what these batteries look like. So yeah, I need to figure out how to get rid of these though, because this one's not great either. That I know I should not just toss in the trash. They can blow up. Hello, Red Ranger. Welcome to the stream. Okay. Yeah, there's Northern California fires and LA too, right? It's LA and San Francisco. So San Francisco, like, is the worst air quality that anyone has had. Like, my coworkers, like, is the worst I've ever seen the entire time I've lived here. So. All of San Francisco and a whole lot of LA. So, you know, it's good. It's good. Not a problem, right? Okay. What do we got back here? Oh, we got more droning. Ugh. Yeah, so this drone is interesting. It's another one that I never actually got to fly. I think this one is supposed to be complete, but I never had a transmitter hooked up to it. But it is a pretty massive foldable drone. So these actually swing out, and then it's set up in, rather than it being in the kind of standard like four corners, it's actually set up in more like the racing layout with the two that are like not as far forward. So this is a more powerful drone. The battery, ooh, that battery needs to go. The battery on this is a lot bigger, and it's heavier and designed. I don't remember what the intent of this was. Anyway, so one of the things you can see right on the top of this is the compass and GPS here. So this is like the core. There's two core components in a drone that are the smarts. One is the compass and GPS, and one is the flight controller, which is a bit inside here that all of these wires go into, and it uses those two bits to then drive all these things. So this is an interesting model. It's all carbon fiber body, and the wiring for the motors is actually internal to these carbon fiber tubes. So rather than going on the outside like a lot of things, it goes on the inside. You've got, and then all of the flight controllers, the ESCs that actually drive power to these motors is also internal to this body. So it's a very different setup from the kind of traditional DJI setup where it's all on the wings. It's actually a lot closer to what the Mavic has now. But this was like a custom build plate type of thing. But yeah, so a lot of these, actually this is not bad. No, it's not bad. This one's not bulgy. I was misfeeling it. But yeah, this is, rather than it being a 3-cell battery, this is a 4-cell battery, and it's 5,200 milliamp hours. So this is like the amount of like 3 or 4 cell phone batteries, except it's big enough so that it can discharge in like 10 minutes instead of like hours. So that's why you get these like 4-cell, and it's got like a 70C burst. So 70C is like a rating of how much power it can put out, how many amps of power it can put out at one time. That it will allow it to drive this bigger drone. But yeah, this will just go in the pile of drone parts that if somebody wants something, they can have it. No, I'm good. There were fires in Golden Gate Park. Jesus Christ! I had missed that there were actually fires in the city. That was a thing I had missed. That's a fucking nightmare. It's just a nightmare. The whole thing is a nightmare. Whole situation. Okay, so this is like a cloth box that's empty. Some interesting, different designs here. It's another one of those Luminaire batteries. I mean, I'm flying to SFO. I don't know. I'll play it by ear over the weekend. Yeah, I don't know. I think all these Luminaire batteries may actually just be time to find a way to get rid of them. And then this is actually interesting. So this is a 6600 35C battery, but as you can see, it's a totally different size. So this is like broader and flatter. I assume this would kind of work well in that the 6-arm drone that I had to kind of go in the middle. And this still feels good. but I don't actually have a lot of, I like the #1 warning on this, which I don't know if you're going to be able to read. No, probably not. But the #1 warning on this is this product may ignite under certain conditions. Yeah, good to know. LiPo's kind of scary. Like they're not a super happy thing. Yeah, I will have to get all of my drone parts out of my office as well and pile those into the bunch of stuff I'm giving away. Okay, you are video game things. Set you aside for right now. I think that all of this is drone stuff. Well, I'll go through it quickly. Oh, no, not all of it. Definitely like one thing that is not. I got the cord that's trapped in here. One moment. I'll be back to the front so you can see me soon. Hello. I'm in the back. Alright. Let's USB cable. Okay. Okay. So what do we got? We've got a couple things here. Also, Julie, it's 11:30 at night. Go to bed. Yes. Well, the person in question is a child, so. So when I talk a little bit about the amount of drone shit that I bought, this is kind of where I run into more of that trouble. It's so easy to look at something and say like, I'm definitely going to use this, or I'm definitely going to do X, Y, and Z. And I make this flaw. I have this problem so often. I make this mistake all the time because I'm like, I know what I'm doing, but I don't. I never know what I'm doing. I never have the time I think I'm going to have to participate in the hobbies that I want to participate in. It's just not a thing. All right. Chop this down a little bit more. Okay, so got a box of drone stuff. So this is a 4-battery charger. So it can charge up to 4 batteries at once. It is a X480 high-tech multi-charger, and it can drive and charge all of the batteries that we've got over here at the same time. This is one that does not have the built-in power supply, so this is another 350 watt power supply that can drive this. So this is something that I spent. This is like $50. This is like $200 at the time. I've used it like twice, and then I like stopped doing drone stuff. So this is like would be worth someone doing something with. Like if I gave it away, like this would be the type of thing that's like, oh, that's a nice thing to have. This is one that I really wish that I had not broken like as soon as I got it. It was a nice little thing because it's a pretty small, like compact drone, and then it folded, like all these arms folded out. Nope, this is not the one I was thinking of. This is not as small as I expected. And then this one had like a weird, like servo motor driven, GoPro mounted thing. So, Julie, go to bed. I mean it. I'm waking you up in like 8 hours, so go to bed. Yeah. Don't scrape the chair on the floor. Yeah, and then this is one where the battery just slides into the back. No, so the thing about all this stuff here is that I've had all of this drone shit for years, and the fact that I had all this drone shit and wasn't, oh shit, nice. Okay, I actually had declared this Nexus 7 of Google's lost. It's no longer lost, although it looks like I did crack the screen, but it's totally like a lost asset for them at this point. They don't care, but I'll return it to them, and I will have one less thing in my house. And one less thing I'll have to feel bad for losing. No, I had all these drone parts for years at this point. And the fact that I had all these drone parts and I wasn't doing anything with them actually prevented me from getting further in the hobby, because I was like, before I buy another drone, I should fix up all the shit I have and either get rid of it or fix it or whatever. And it turns out that like I didn't do that, and I just let that prevent me from engaging in the hobby that I enjoyed, which was flying. And so like I was really upset about, like I just never flew. So I just decided I'm gonna buy a different drone, which I did, and I'm very happy with the one I bought. So I will never ever fly any of these things. I'm not interested in the RC part of the drone hobby. I'm interested in the video and camera part. And so like this was a stupid purchase for me. And so like I want to find somebody who will take all this shit and like love it. Or not love it. I don't actually care, but get it out of my house so I don't have to feel guilty about it anymore. But yeah. So you actually see, I actually labeled a lot of these batteries with my name and with the year and date that I bought them in, as well as like a number. So part of that was because I wanted to know how old they were, which is good for kind of tracking age and everything else like that. The other is that like knowing which one was which when I'm like swapping through a bunch of batteries to fly, very useful. So I did that. Okay, I've got some Flonase, so that's good. I got the back of a GoPro, probably the back of the GoPro that I sank in the river, so throw that away. Yeah, so we've got batteries. We've got a couple more of these. These are like plugs that go along with the charger that I was looking at earlier. These bungee cords I'll keep. These should go in the car because I use them sometimes. This is pieces for mounting the FPV camera on my Discovery Pro. I think, oh, that's right. There's one thing in here I said was not any of these. So this is actually a thing to jumpstart your car. So where's the other? There was another half of this. Where did it go? Did I already move it aside? I'm trying to think here. Anyway, yeah. So this is like a USB battery charger, but it's also like if your car needs a jump start, you can plug in cables and you can jump start your car with this. You know, and the reason I bought it is because like my car wouldn't start. And so I didn't have anyone around who could like help me with a jump. So I like primed this and it got there same day. And then I went and tried to jumpstart my car and it didn't work because it turned out that like it was just totally broken. And so I had to get towed into the shop and they fixed a thing. And they were like, I've never seen this before, but it's totally broken and this never would have worked and blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of shitty. But yeah, so that's what this is. So having that is handy. You charge it up. You don't need anyone else to help you jump. You just jump your car. It doesn't matter so much for me now because my car is new and doesn't have the same problems as my old car did. But there's that. Some of the things in here is like, I like that I've got like an old. Like, this is interesting. So this is a combination, micro USB, Lightning, and a like 15 pin like iPhone connector. So it's interesting that like it's a combination iPhone and like non-iPhone charger. Nobody would need the old thing anymore. I've also got a remote for GoPro, so you know that's totally useless. I will never use that. It just doesn't matter. You, like the Fat Shark Dominator. Oh, that's right. I also have like 2 pairs of FPV goggles. Another thing that like if you're into FPV, it's great. I don't want to risk it because the Boston area enforcement people on FAA stuff are just assholes, and so like I'm just like, I don't want to play games, and FPV is this like weird position where it's not really legal and blah blah blah, and I just don't want to play that game. So, yeah, there we go. Where are my little jumper cables that go with that thing that I bought? I don't know where they are. I want to get this down to just drone shit. Oh yeah, I got a Google Cardboard in here. But those are, like, this one's kind of smashed and they're kind of not hard to get a hold of, so if you can't get a hold of a Google Cardboard, let me know. I will happily help you figure out how or what to do. I got a pair of wire cutters in here, so those are going to stay with me. Throw away that. Oh, my Allen wrench set, another set of tools that I bought specifically for the drone hobby, but that I also have like a latch plate for a front door, probably from when I replaced our front door knob because it kept like trapping us in. So that's good. I'm gonna keep my batteries separate, just because I should also probably put them someplace that isn't all together. So if one of them explodes, it doesn't explode all the other ones. But it's a different problem. Got a USB cable that was definitely originally with a Kindle, but the USB cables for the Kindle originally were actually quite nice, so I'll put that in my package of cables, I guess. There's another one. We had a lot of Kindles. I think we probably bought 15 to 20 different Kindles over the lifetime of this household. Yeah, we've had a lot of Kindles over the years, between 4 different people and multiple models of Kindles and all kinds of other stuff. I like that, yeah, so like Ready Made RC, when they ship you stuff, they actually ship you a card with like a Jolly Rancher in it, but that's been in my thing for the past like bajillion years, so I'm not really interested in that anymore. Alright, let's fold this in. Oh yeah, so the thing about this is that these foldable arms that fold and snap in place, you then have to like plug in these little connectors on the back of the flight controller in order to do it. And so if you like try and like snap these in place and put them back without doing that, then you break them. And so I think I broke one of the cables on one of these doing yeah. So you can see that I kind of ripped out. There's not 3 pins here. There's just one, because at one point when I was trying to like fly this, I wasn't paying attention and I ripped it out, and then I could never find these exact ready to fly quads flight like ESCs anymore, and I didn't really want to fly with one from one brand and one from another brand, and so I just ended up never actually flying it again. So I flew it once and it was decent and small and compact, and I liked that, but then I never flew it again because I did not. Okay, so this is now all drone shit that I can get rid of. It contains no tools or anything else that I need to worry about. It's not an iPhone. It's not just an iPhone 4 charger. It's an iPhone 4. It'll still charge my phone, and it's a USB-C. It's a USB micro USB charger. So. I mean, I have actually sorted all of my USB cables now. Like, I have a really decent sorting system for my USB cables that, like, I have, like, a whole system where I've got them all in little, like, boxes in a stackable thing. I'm quite happy with it, so I'm not worried about that. Where did I put, like, there was a second, oh, here it is. I was like, there's a second box of, like, drone shit. Okay, this is a sun visor for a tablet. You kind of, like, this opens up somehow. It's designed to be used with, like, you attach it to your RC remote, and that way you can see your screen. I can't actually figure out how to open it without breaking it. I'm not gonna bother with that. This is the gimbal I bought and tried to install on my Phantom 1 and ended up killing it in the process. This is the jumper cables for that battery thing. So charge that up, toss that in the trunk of my car, easily give somebody a jump, easier than carrying around a full set of cables. This is drill bits. Nope, this is a comprehensive set of both metric and non-metric Allen wrenches. Unfortunately, some of the smaller ones look like they have come loose, but I have a whole shit ton of Allen wrenches here. Everything from 0.028, which I guess is 1/30. Yeah, it's like 1/64th. I don't know, 1/72nd or something like that. And then I've got from 0.7 all the way up to 10. I don't know what uses a 10 millimeter Allen wrench. I don't know if I ever want. Maybe cars or something do. Maybe that's a thing. This is a video transmitter. So this is what it looks like when people do video transmission from cameras on their drones back to video devices or headsets or whatever. They're just UHF broadcasts. So just like old like clicker TVs, there's like a set of the frequencies that are used for that this lives on. This green flashlight. This is Julia. Okay, this is not what I thought it was, but yeah. So it's like a 1 AAA. Like this is still an old like non-LED bulb flashlight. This is an LED flashlight. I had one very much like this. It's like 1 AAA battery little flashlight. I loved it. It worked so great and it lasted so well for many, many years for me. I really loved it. Okay. Got another screwdriver. Got some tape. I'm just going to throw out the super glue because it's been open and it's probably bad at this point. Half of a airhead wrapper. We got some WD-40, another USB-C cable. This battery can go in this pile. Zip ties. I bought them originally for drone stuff, but I feel like they could be useful for other things. This is another USB cable. Okay, drone stuff, solder. I don't even have a soldering iron anymore, and this was like a $2 thing of solder, so it is going in the trash. And then this is a connector of some kind for drone stuff. Okay, drone stuff. Fuck, great. So I think that I have now collected all of the drone stuff that isn't upstairs. So the Phantom 2 is here, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 other drones here, and then I have maybe a whole other one upstairs that I need to collect and get together. But then I can just like say, here, have a bunch of drone shit. It's not in any working order. It's not functional, but like, it's a thing. Yeah. Okay. What do I want to do? Oh, this ironing board needs to get out of here. That is the truth. Chairs probably need to go as well, but stop attacking me. Everything's fine. That's right. That's right. The important part of anything is to make sure it's captured on stream. I mean, the reason I'm doing all this shit is very simple. Making it a game, or something I can do for entertainment, or something I can share cool stories about, makes it so I actually do it. Like I said, this pile of shit is not new. Like, this pile of stuff has been down here for years, a lot of it. Like the drone stuff especially, like I bought my Mavic in May of 2017. And and I have not touched any of that other drone stuff since then once. And that stuff was like buried in the back. So you know that that's been the case. Like the printer bot, I know that I broke it like more than a year ago. Like I just need a, yeah, exactly. I need an achievement counter overlay for life. Like that's just what I need. I need life to have achievements so that I can go and like do it. So it's fine. I'm here. I convinced like up to 20 people to tune in to watch me like clean my fucking basement. Like that's fine. This cheap $2 pair of headphones, do not need. Like it's not even like if this were Storage Wars, those would not even be worth like trying to sell. Oh look, this is another one of these things that I attempted to collect all the trash and then never trashed it. Alright, I'm gonna grab a trash bag and just migrate this shit into it. So I'm making progress. Like I said, I've taken 2 bags of actual, like, full garbage out of here. I've committed to myself that I will just get rid of the drone stuff. I will just hand them to somebody who has the time and the space and the interest, in particular in RCs. Like, you know, I don't want you to be interested in drones because that's not actually the relevant part here. I want you to be interested in RC work, because that's what I actually need you to want in order to get any value of this. Like, please be an RC person and do this. Alright. Garbage. Some of the earliest prints that I made on my 3D printer. This is like an IKEA flathead tool. This is a drill bit, like a electric drill bit for screwdriver, flathead, and Phillips. This is garbage, socket, more 3D printed parts that snap together and never snap back apart. Fine, great. So I've now, well, like some of these are like literally like little chunks of leftover Halloween candy from God knows when. Empty basket. Not bad. Alright. A whole bunch of bubble wrap from when we moved. And I was moving all of our dishes. Bubble wrap is not worth keeping. I don't know what I was thinking at the time, other than I am not unpacking anything more, but done. More trash. Okay. More trash. This goes along with this. Okay. But yes, an achievement counter for life would be great. If someone could just work on implementing that, it'd be awesome. Oh wow, photos. Okay, this is like important shit. Not entirely sure where I want to go next. I might be at the point where I'm at a stopping point and my goal should be to clear more paths and get some of the stuff out of here. Especially because I think a lot of the crowd has died down. I appreciate you all hanging out, by the way, and giving me a reason to be here. Like I said, I've made a lot of progress on this basement tonight. I feel pretty happy with it. I do have a bunch of shit that's just garbage, which is gone now. Pulled out a bunch of things that are laundry that I can wash and get out of here, and made a lot of progress. So I really do appreciate. I know that the goal for you was more to laugh at my pain than to necessarily be supportive folks, but I hope you've enjoyed some of the stories I've told about the silly things I've done, and also gotten to enjoy seeing me clean out the basement. But yeah, I definitely is a thing. Yeah, so this is interesting. A little bit interesting. It's not that interesting. Ah, lost my hat. So this was my 3D printer box. And so like in this I had all of the different what are these? Crescent wrenches? I think these are crescent wrenches, right? I had all the different crescent wrenches for the different size nuts and bolts on the 3D printer, and you can see the part of it that I snapped off because I was trying to tighten a bolt that I had screwed on the wrong way to begin with. I just broke it. So yeah, pulling out the socket wrenches, the sockets, and just throwing the rest of this shit away. Oh, that's also like these spacers. It's like I wanted one. These are just like little plastic spacers. And in order to buy one, I had to buy like a unit, like it's like 150 of them that I bought for like, you know, I don't know, it's like $1 on Amazon back when I was putting my 3D printer together, and I had lost one of the pieces, or they hadn't shipped it to me. I don't remember. Like one of the problems with the printer bot is that they were definitely a very manual operation. So when I got my thing, they had like 3 big nuts that they were supposed to send you, 2 of one kind and 1 of another, and they sent me 2 of the kind that I needed 1 of and 1 of the kind I needed 2 of. It was a very frustrating experience after I spent like 10 hours putting it together to realize at the very end that I didn't actually have the parts I needed. That sucked. I don't know why I have size C batteries. So yeah, I'm not gonna feel too bad about throwing away $1.50 worth of plastic spacers bought 5 years ago. Add a toothbrush in here. What was the toothbrush for? The toothbrush I used to clean something. I don't remember what. I remember it was definitely for the 3D printer though. There's something on there that I routinely had to clean to the point that I just kept a toothbrush in the thing all the time. Some of my early experiments, leftovers, are definitely here. So for example, I see here that I have like a little plastic J. And the reason I have a little plastic J is I printed out something that said Jessica Schmidt, but failed to keep in mind the fact that like when you're printing things out, they don't magically stick together. So unless you've designed a part that has connections between them, they just won't go together. Like they'll just be pieces. And so like I ended up printing like all of these individual letters when I was trying to print like a name card or something like that. And I was like, oh, I feel really dumb now. All right, I got all the sockets and crescent wrenches out of here, which leaves me a box that I can use to put my 350 watt power supply in, which is great. Okay. What do I got going on here? Okay. All right. So, what are these? Ugh, seriously? I'm not sure that we actually need these files anymore, but this is like, a lot of this is like literally like the files from when we were applying for schools for Alicia when she was in high school, her freshman year. Like, papers from Trip to Miss Porter's, like, Children's Hospital bills from 2011, like... Yeah, this is like a bill for Trans World Systems in 2012. Like, I don't need that shit anymore, but... Hens and Chicks appears to be some kind of game. Never heard of it. Got a pair of really retro sunglasses here, so I can look tray cool. Take off my glasses at least. I think it's my look. I do not think it's my look. Good response, Org. All right. Yeah. So you missed my my pile of cables earlier, Org. But so the problem is when I walk off camera, that if I do kill myself, you won't even have the benefit of it being filmed. I can't, like, you know, have my heirs make hundreds of dollars off of the views that they get. Yeah, so this is my pile of cables. Oh, God. I think that, this would take a while to sort. By the way, some highlights. Just I can't. I can't. You know, bring all of this to you, but I just want to give you some highlights. This is a FireWire powered iSight, purchased in 2003, before Macs had built-in cameras. So that gives you a little bit of that. There's a cable in here just labeled scanner. I'm not sure if it's a power cable or a connection cable. I have at least 2 Dell mice that I picked up because Dell would ship you a mouse with your rack-mounted server. So Metacarta just always had extra Dell mice and keyboards. So I got at least 2 of those. I got a PlayStation 2 controller in here. Several things that are using like phone jacks. I don't know why this cable, whatever it is stretchy. Like I've got a stretchy cable like you used to find on phones. Yeah. So yeah, I've got whatever this is on the ends, no idea. Some broken headphones from ages ago. Oh, interesting. I've got a Nokia earbud that likely came with one of the Nokia phones that I had at Nokia. This microphone I picked up when I got my first computer back in 2001. This is a GameCube controller plug, I'm pretty sure. So there's probably a GameCube controller in here somewhere as well. So yeah, got some work to do on that one. We'll just go with that. So yeah, cables are definitely an area of more work needed in this giant pile. I don't even know. And also, like, I have no idea, like, how they all became one thing. Like, hello, Dragon Slayer. How's it going? Let me put my hat back on. I'm missing a hat. All right. Calm. Think. Okay. I think I will need a screwdriver to pull apart. Various. Oh wait, yeah. I'll need a screwdriver to pull out the motors for my 3D printer. That's the only parts of this that is worth keeping. Everything else is gonna go straight in the trash. Well, hello, Jacob. Giant detangling brushes for cables. Okay, what do we got? Okay, so this is a blanket that is still decent, a quilt that's still decent. Toss that over there. This is a Halloween candy serving basket that says Schmitz. I don't feel like, I don't know. Yeah, well, I remember that. That was like he wrote a whole paper on the fact that like, and people joked about it. They were like, did he just write a paper saying that if you put a bunch of cables in a box, like they get tangled? Like, didn't everybody know that? And it's like, no, it's not just about that. Like, if you put a bunch of cables in a box, they get tangled. Everybody knows that. But like the specifics of how much energy gets put in and how they get tangled and everything else like that actually is an interesting thing to study. So shut your pie hole. Yeah, I don't feel like that's where I would put the apostrophe for that. I don't know if that actually comes out right on. Yeah, okay. Schmitz. I guess it's the Schmitz's. The Schmitz's basket. I don't know. Hey, like, even though my name ends with an S, and I have been dealing with this particular issue my entire life, I still do not understand the rules around when you, like, put things, like, apostrophe, S apostrophe versus S apostrophe S is not a thing I understand. Oh, my calipers, which appear to have a chunk of melted rubber on the end of them, and be dead battery. Okay. So this was digital calipers that I bought specifically for 3D printing things. The calipers are important so you can measure how big, like when you're doing initial setup, it's a way to measure how much plastic you've configured to come out and how much is actually coming out, stuff like that. It lets you calibrate the appropriate number of steps for things. But apparently this cheap pair of calipers I bought has a dead battery. They were $8 calipers, so buying a new battery probably costs not much different than buying a new set of calipers. Oh, look! I have found the Holy Grail! A Phillips head screwdriver. Oh, it's glorious. Apparently I have multiple like hex wrenches with like a T-top. I don't know why you would need this, but like it's a thing. And I've got a little bit of parachute cord, which I can throw away. I don't need a 7-foot chunk of parachute cord. Okay, I got some more garbage here, which is great. I'm making some progress. Alright. Ugh. It's fine. It's good. I'm actually gonna open up. Actually, I'll just use this. Throw some more garbage in here. Garbage. Great. Gonna have at least 3 bags of garbage I'm gonna carry out of here, which is awesome. Super happy with that, actually. Better results than I would have expected. Yes, yeah, 1-800 save our stuff or get junk or whatever. Yeah, whoever. The thing is that those places are actually pretty expensive. They charge you like oftentimes by the pound of what they take away. So, you know, if they've got good insurance for death insurance, life insurance, then that's fine. But if you get to the end and you're like, oh yeah, I've got a whole basement full of shit. Like when we moved out of our old place, I had taken a bunch of like Dell 2650 and 2850 rack mount servers that Metacart had no longer wanted, with the idea I was going to donate them to a nonprofit organization. But then I found out that the place that hosted them charged them for like power, and those 2650s sucked power like nobody's business, so they didn't really even want them, and they just sat in my basement until they forced us to move out. And so I am pretty sure that like literally just carrying those 2650s back out of our basement, because I'm sure they just called somebody because our basement was a disaster. I am sure that like just calling somebody to get rid of those probably took up a large chunk of our security deposit by the time they were done, because they were fucking heavy. They weighed like 60 pounds a piece, and I had like 9 of them. And so like it's like 450. You know, okay, let's $1.50 a pound. You know, now suddenly you're talking about real money. Yeah, I thought that was. But I did not really leave on good terms with my previous landlord, so I did not feel super bad about it. Hey, look, one of those Kindles I was talking about. Yeah, so I've talked about the fact that like we've had like a bajillion Kindles, and one of the reasons is something you can actually see here, is that the bottom half of that is a cracked e-reader screen. So if I charged this, the top half would work, but the bottom half would not. And I've always kept these things. I'm like, oh, somebody must like want the like circuitry in it to do something cool with. But I think the reality is that like there's almost no interesting circuitry in this. The e-ink display is all that matters, and that's the part I always break. So trash. Oops. It's another one of those Dell keyboards I was talking about. Because turns out you don't actually need one keyboard for every rack-mounted server you buy most of the time. But that doesn't stop Dell. You can't even tell them to not ship you this shit. This is interesting. Okay. So, when we lived in a previous house, we had lights that attached to the top of our bookshelves. And so this was like a plug, and then this was a power brick that power multiple lights. You can actually see here that I've cut off the ends of these, because when we moved, like I couldn't figure out any way to pull these back out. Like once you plug them in, I couldn't find any way to get them to come back out. Like they were like a one-time thing. And maybe there's a way to do it, but I just cut them eventually because I couldn't figure it out. And so this is garbage. But yeah, it was actually really nice to have like top-mounted lights. They would point down on the bookshelves. They would light them really nicely. So. Oh yeah, and I actually even have one of the lights still. Oh, this one was different though, because this one was only one. There's only one, so this one had its own power supply, but rather. So these lights, this part would mount to the bookshelf, and then this part would kind of like hang out over it and kind of aim down. They were nice lights. We don't have them on the bookshelves currently, but we've got like 4 bookshelves, and I think I've only got 1 light. I don't know. I'll put this put it on the free pile. Somebody will grab it. So this is, what's this? This I'll set aside. Okay. Oh. All right. I don't know why I have a German book to tell me how to do what? I have a German book for a bike that I don't... Oh, Batavis. Those are like the foldy bikes, right? Or something? Never owned a Batavis bike. I don't know why I have a Batavis instruction manual, but this is empty. Wireless data transmitter from Radio Shack. No idea what it's wirelessly transmitting. Like, what is this shit? So many things that I'm like, how did I even... Okay, well, this was our stuff. This got, like, Julie's old schoolwork in it. So it's not like I just, in like 2013, tax reports from PAX, parent supervised driving guide. Old hat. Alright, let me just make sure that none of these photo things have anything interesting in them. They do not. This is old checkbook from a bank that does not. Oh, they still exist. Yeah, there's actually still some ways we have an account, so don't want to just toss that in the trash. Hey! All right, what Netflix movie did we never return? Let's find out. We never returned A Little Princess. When her father enlists to fight for the Brits during World War I, Sarah Crewe goes to New York to attend her late mother's boarding school and clashes with an overbearing headmistress who attempts to stifle her creativity and sense of self-worth. But she's severely tested when Warren Cubs her father has been killed in action and that his vast estate has been seized. Rated G. The Little Princess, the movie we stole from Netflix. So the movie was made in 95. I don't know if there's any date on the Netflix envelope that would tell me when it was actually sent. It was definitely before 2000. Like, we moved with it because this was shipped to our old house. So we moved in late 2014. I think we last had a Netflix DVD subscription though in like 2011, 2012. So it's the end of an era. Yeah, so I don't, there's no date on the mailer. Yeah. So. Yeah, no, we bought it a long time ago. Just to be clear. we were pretty early opt-in people to the streaming Netflix. So wedding stuff. Okay. That's in the papers that need to be sorted. Pin pile. This is what is this? Knit. It's like a knit top. A knit neck warmer. Knit neck warmer is what I'm gonna go with. So, and then this is all China. It all seems to be pretty still intact and in one piece. Okay. Fine. Okay, so this is important to keep. These are irreplaceable snapshot photos. This probably doesn't need to be kept, but whatever. Alright, it's Christmas stuff here. This tire needs to go away. I need to not continue to keep a tire in my basement. For a car that I've never owned. Blockbuster did do the DVD service. They didn't do it for long because they were already basically dead at that point, but they did actually run one. Oh, this is interesting. So this is so I've oftentimes referred to this as my brain. I oftentimes keep little notebooks with just like, there's no order to these. It's just like I write down things and then I go back like a few days. So like this is from the era when I was working at Nokia. In particular, we were loading data from TripAdvisor, and we had data problems in our 2012 query set. We were trying to get coverage on Turkey because people were concerned about like quality of search data in Turkey. I had to email the ClickWork list for something. Not all of this handwriting looks like mine, or maybe I just wrote more clearly at some point in the past than I do now. Yeah, I guess I just wrote more clearly. Yeah, so this is interesting little piece of history. I should have worked on Jira Ticket Scan 504 at one point in the past. I think it's probably done at this point or has been closed. Wikis.in.nokia.com. Why you know HTTPS. A reasonable question that likely never got an answer. Yeah. Anyway, no longer relevant, but pretty much at that point, that was all work stuff, so nothing particularly interesting. Yeah, so I am a little bit confused as to what the fuck this is. It is a wireless data transmitter of some variety. Radio Shack, solar transmitter. Like, but what does it transmit? Like, it doesn't appear to have any inputs. It looks like it screws onto like an outlet or whatever. But yeah, I have no idea what this is. It's garbage. Okay, so this is garbage. Oh, Jess, Ruhlman Conference. Do you want to, like, 2007 Ruhlman Conference? You're in here somewhere, right? I feel like you probably are. You presented at that. Jessica Schmidt. No, Jessica Allen. Jessica Allen. Page 41. Marginalizing the masses. Religious persecution in early modern Europe. Your advisor was Ryan K. France in the history department. Yes, I know. I just had to think about it. The Spanish Inquisition is well known as an abhorrent abuse of legal system, of human rights, and of the disenfranchised and marginalized members of society. What is not generally known is that during the Spanish Inquisition, the numerical majority of trials were not of Jews, Moors, Protestants, or even a combination. They were of Spanish Catholics. This interesting topic has not been extensively covered in existing historical writings and has not attracted the attention that it merits. The Inquisition existed originally to rout out Jews and Moors from Spain, but quickly spread to impact all of Spanish society. This presentation will focus on the prosecution of old Christians in the Spanish Inquisition and show the evolution of standards originally designed for Moors and Jews, becoming the means to prosecute and persecute anyone who contested those in power. So, if you went to the Ruhlman Conference in May 2007, you could have heard my lovely wife, Mrs. Jessica Allen, when she is speaking professionally, speak on that. I'm sorry, Coin Yo-Yo. I apologize. That's probably the same person who was begging Jess earlier to get him unbanned. I don't know why. Like, I don't ban people that often. Like, I ban people for, like, Nazi propaganda and not much else, so you have to have, like, fucked up. And you can be a stupid fuck up, but, like, it can not be, like, a thoughtful fuck up, but, like, you have to have fucked up to get banned in my streams. Do you think we need Julianne's immunization records from 2012? I feel like the answer to that is probably no. Yeah, I think this whole box is just trash. Just needs to go. And my trash bag is too full for that, so... make another one. I apologize, Coin Yo-Yo. I mean, my answer is if you're having someone spam your stream to, like, comments, just ban them. I don't care. It is not something that I care about. Okay, now you are an empty box, and you can go in the empty box recycling pile. Alright. So, now we've got some more... Take care, Coin Yo-Yo. Have a lovely night. Alright. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take... Okay, so over here is the stairs. Can you see the stairs? Yeah, probably. And I need to clear a path to the stairs. So the laundry's over here. None of this over here actually needs to be navigable, but I definitely have to get to the laundry, especially because I made a bunch more for myself. So, let us focus on that. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, so the stairs are over there. I mean, this is a big light thing, but you can kind of ignore that. Be thoughtful. Don't just pile things back up. Be thoughtful about putting things in a place. Alright. This stuff is stuff I still have to go through. This tire needs to go away. So I'm going to move it for now, but definitely needs to go away. Okay, Jess, we're here. The big metal chairs that went with our old table, those are just trash at this point, right? Like, they're not something we're going to end up using again. Protozoan. Yeah, the iron chairs. Yeah, okay. So the chairs need to go away. We actually have 3 of them. We have 2 here and 1 over there. That we need to get rid of. This we need to get rid of. Okay. I'm going to take the chairs upstairs. I'll be right back. So, wait for me on the internet, or don't. It's fine. But I'll be back in a minute. So the basement door has been closed for a while, and the cats just came downstairs, and they're like, holy shit, everything's different. I have to explore every inch of this now. I did not know that. There you go. The more you know. Okay. So this is a bunch of construction paper contained inside like an artist case that I'm not sure actually closes anymore. Let's see. Ugh. All right. Oh, why we have things sometimes. Actually, you know what? I don't actually care about the stuff for right now. I want to see if this even closes. I.e., is it worth trying to keep or not? There's no paper in the way. Does this shut? The way is shut. It was made by those who are dead, and the dead keep it. The way is shut. Yes, this does close. Okay. And it does not appear to be completely wrecked. So that seems like something that could go in the free pile once I get it more organized. Alright. So what is the status of this bin? Oh, cobwebs in my mouth. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that it actually latched, because it's got some like water damage on it. I wanted to make sure it latched before I put it out there. It's not super bad, but I didn't want, like, if it didn't actually latch, and that was just kind of rude. Okay, so the ironing board and the tire both need to go away. The pair of underwear that is inside the tire can get washed. Because, you know, that's where you keep your underwear, inside a tire. This is kind of bothering me. It shouldn't, because it's really stupid to let it bother me, but it is anyway. Oh, sorry. I broke my legs. Okay. I did nothing. I did absolutely nothing. Okay, well, I didn't solve my problem, but it's fine. I am learning a lot about how lighting works. So It's good. It's a learning experience. I am way too brightly lit because I'm way too close to my lights. I would need to move them back. Or put soft boxes on them or something in order to diffuse the light. But then when I get back here, I'm too dark. Well, now I'm actually even out of frame because I'm working in a part of the basement I'm not supposed to be in at the moment. Okay, right. Path to success. This is a lid for one of the things we store blankets in, which are all over here. For the time being, I'm just putting it there. This is a snow shovel. It can go with the other 3 snow shovels on the far side of this wall. This is a space heater. This may or may not be necessary, but whatever. Wiimote, I believe, can go in here. Alright, so, Anna did not make her way into the basement, so I assume that she is off doing something else. Okay, so, we got an empty bin here. I've also got a bin here that contains... Did anyone else hear that? I swear it sounded like 3 blind mice. Not the beeping of the smoke detector that I need to replace the battery on, but... Okay, I don't know. Maybe I did like... Yeah, the chime. Like somewhere there's a chime, and I'm not bothered by the idea that there is a chime somewhere, but I'm a little bit confused that like there was a like a music box. What did I move that triggered whatever it is? I don't know. It's strange. Okay, I am going to move this set of blankets and historical artifacts of our children, including small baby shoes, from an open top bin into a closed top bin because unfortunately these got some like brick dust on them and I feel very bad about that. So I'm going to shift that, toss this in the direction of bins, and then cover this up so these don't get any more destroyed, and we should engage in more aggressive preservation efforts on these, but for the time being they are protected and can be placed out of the way. Okay. Rainbow pinwheel. Yes, that is correct. That was the box that contained your daughter's and my blanket that needed to be better protected than they were. This shoe, I don't know. I think we may have at some point had 2 of these purple boots. It's been in the basement for a year and a half now. If we still have another one, then we should throw it away. Okay. This is the Christmas tree skirt. So I will put it with the Christmas stuff, which at the moment is back here. Okay. Christmas stuff is right next to snow shovels. Makes sense. Oh, that is a glass bottle that is quite destroyed. Unfortunate. I have several. Yeah, I opened the door to the basement, and they are very excited to explore down here. So Tony is saying, Tony, don't cut yourself on glass, please. Thanks. What's the right way to like pack up glass so it doesn't hurt people? I don't know. Yeah, making progress. I mean, we're looking at a different part of the basement at the moment. Like, this area over here is actually more crowded than it was, but I have definitely taken a lot of trash out. And this is always the problem with cleaning, is that there's a whole period where it gets worse before it gets better. And I'm still kind of in that, half in that state at the moment. Thankfully, this is like Pyrex, so it broke in big chunks for the most part, but I think it's one of these tequila bottles that we make stuff in. Yeah. I definitely have to sweep over here. Alright. I'm 90% sure I didn't break that tonight, though. I think that's been broken for quite a while. Alright, so. Oh, so Protosam, I don't know if you're still here. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that in addition to the giant pile of cables that we have, I have the lesser pile of cables that... Oh, shit. My phone is not doing things. Hold on. Ugh. There we go. Yes, it wanted me to acknowledge that my battery is low and decided to not update the camera until I did so. Anyway, but yeah, so I have the lesser cable pile, and this is all pretty much video game stuff. So I got NES controllers, Super Nintendo controllers. I've got like a Twiddler 2, which is like a handheld keyboard that you can push buttons on. GameStop Universal RF switch, a whole bunch of shit like that. But then at the bottom of this, amusingly underneath China, because definitely this is sensible to include with your video games. Put this back in the China box. But yeah, so this is where I've got more video game machines. So I've got the Super Nintendo. I've got another NES. I've got Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. A PlayStation. A handful of games. I do have Zelda 2 in gold. And Zelda 1 in not gold. But yeah, we were going through earlier. Oh, I also have, this is probably a little bit more unusual of a find, of course, is the Super Nintendo mouse. Yeah, so I've got the... Oh. I think maybe this Super Nintendo has seen better days. Oh, the whole side of it is just crushed. The corrosion in here is also pretty rough. A lot of mold. Not mold, rust. Yeah, it's fine. This is not a mice problem, just to be clear. Like this got something heavy got pushed on it. Like I can see the pieces in here that like got knocked out of it. So something heavy landed on the side of this and smashed the plastic. Because it's old and brittle. Like anyway, yeah, so I have to decide if I want to take these video game machines and build myself just like a backdrop where they're just decorative, which might actually be the best for everyone rather than trying to do anything useful with them. I've also got our tape gun from when we moved. Ah, look at that, throwing it right off there. But yeah, our tape gun from when we moved, when we were taping up boxes. So, anyway, yeah. So I've got the video game pile of cables and games and so on. But at the very least, I mean, like, this is what I have for games. I mean, none of these are like expensive or worthwhile games, or whatever, uncommon games. Throwing them. Star Fox for Super Nintendo, Super Mario Brothers, Dodgeball, Super Mario All Stars, Link 2, Zelda, Super Mario 3, Super Mario's Duck Hunt. So yeah, nothing unusual or rare. All the kind of core games Mario paint, of course, because we have the Super Mario or the Nintendo mouse goes along with that, and a whole bunch of cables and controllers and everything. Power supply for an N64. I don't actually see the N64, which probably means it's over in that pile over there. Any third, gross pile of cable, like tangled cables. Okay. Alright, so we got some more trash over here, including some old Halloween stuff. We also got what looks like a 150 gigabyte hard drive. So maybe there's something interesting on that. Okay. All right. These things can all go upstairs. They only came down because I was clearing the way when people were coming over. This can go upstairs. Ugh. Well, shit. Here's my box of yearbooks, which I do actually want to continue to protect. Unfortunately, that box has just disintegrated, so time to gather a new box of some kind. Take this plastic one. Definitely annoying to pick up heavy books and move them at this point in the evening. Alright. Oh, just a little bit of detergent left in it, unfortunately. Okay, so this box is now kaputt. The box ist kaputt, is what we would say in German, except we would pronounce box in some language that isn't English. Okay. Alright, so this is garbage. This is garbage. Kind of special garbage, because I don't think you can just toss a tire in the trash, but still garbage. I'm going to kind of move these blankets out of the way, because I need to figure out if they're actually in shape that I need to wash them or what. I don't know what's in this bag. More dirty, gross clothes. These are just going to go in the trash. Garbage. I mean, she's learned from the best, Jessica. I am not surprised. Ugh. The emotes goes in there. I like that, like, my table has gone back to, like, a lot of this is just tools. There's, like, a bunch of tools that I want to sort, but I don't know where my toolboxes are. I've got, like, the printer, the alcohol, which I'm going to sort and do something with, the printer, which I'm going to take the motors off and then toss. But this table is now more of a mess than when I started. God damn it. Alright, this is clean. I will, the ironing board is garbage. Move that out of the way. Okay. All that is recycling, that's fine. And got a garbage can. Okay. Garbage, garbage, not garbage, not garbage. Stuff is fine as it is. Let's shift this out of the way, because I haven't gotten through it yet. Shift this out of the way, because I haven't gotten through it yet. Alright, now Yeah, she learned that kind of thing from you. Mark, that's great to know. It's good. Because I will need a place to put that tire. Because I don't want to... I've already kept it for far too long, clearly. This giant nest of cables is just hilarious. I just have a stream where it's just trying to untangle this rat's nest of cables. Like, that should just be the goal. Do a high view mount and just like, this is me. This is the way we untangle our cables. I feel like that has the feel of some of these ASMR streams that people do, where it's like, I will do this quiet, thoughtful activity for several hours. Doesn't really work with doing it from your phone though. But yeah. Alright. Cool. More trash. More trash. Hey, there's the N64. I found it. The N64 is actually probably the most recent console that I bought other than the Switch. I bought it specifically for a stream that I was going to do with Lucifer. We were going to play GoldenEye, but we didn't end up doing that. But yeah, N64. I think that yeah, I mean, there's no, I don't know. I think there's almost nothing in there that I will want. The right answer is really probably to just toss the whole mess. Like, the couple of mice in there, fine, but I just bought like a $60 mouse, and I hope to not buy anything else anytime soon. As much as I complain about the fact that it fucking changes colors, because mice shouldn't do that. Like, yeah. Okay. Also, this is garbage. What is this? Litter Trapper mat. I'll have to talk to Jess about whether she wants to keep this. Ugh. I'm definitely getting into the part. So now that I'm getting down to like the floor stuff, that's where a lot of the like grime and dust has settled. So I'm definitely getting into the part of the evening where I'm like, oh shit, like now I can't breathe. Okay. Alright. It's not a yoga mat, it's a litter trapper mat, so you put it in front of the litter pan, and when the cats come out, in theory, the litter should get trapped on that rather than tracked all over the bathroom. I feel like the litter really was only a problem in the bathroom when the cats, or when I changed the litter box, in which case this litter trapper thing wouldn't help anyway, so I expect we don't actually need it. I'll put that in the... Where did I put it? I put it somewhere. Yeah, okay. I'll put that in the, put it on the free market pile. Litter, Jessica, like cat litter. Oh, Mark said glitter, okay. Go, yeah. I need to go to bed. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, the problem with glitter is that there is no such thing as a glitter trapping mat. It's an impossible request. It's not an ask that you can complete. I know what time it is. I stream until 1:15 in the morning. I know what time it is. I also know, like, what my sleep schedule is going to be. I know that I have to get up at a time. I'm aware of all of these things. I mean, the mold is actually, I mean, it's certainly, like, a general issue that the basement is damp, but, like, overall it's not that bad. Anyway, like, the whole point of what I'm doing at this point is that I am doing finaling, like, cleanup to make it possible for me to continue on my way. Like, I want to be able to get to the laundry machine without it being a disaster. That is why I'm collecting things now and moving on to that part of the evening. I'm no longer on the clean the basement part. I'm on the tidy my exit path part. Yeah, see, here's the thing. This is much less tangled. See? Like, look, I've got like a handful of things here, but there's only like 8 cables in it, not like 9,000. But if I let these touch or these touch, then they'll all combine and I'll never get them apart. So I gotta have a separate pile just for this. Laundry, garbage. Laundry. Okay, and there's a whole pile of cords, but can't get to them right now, which is fine. Okay, alright. So, here's the earth. It's chilling. Damn, you might say. That is a sweet earth. Wrong. I'm gonna unplug this. Alright, so here's what we did, right? We started off, and in fact, this entire area here was completely unnavigable. It was piled to the top. I couldn't get through here at all. So now we've got, this bin is all video game stuff. This bin has not been sorted. I will have to go through that at a future date. We got a space heater there. This little pile of cables, understandable, it just moved, but it's okay. That plastic bin in the back there, including the fan, is things that I will be giving away. This in the front is things that I will be giving away more seriously. These papers don't actually belong here. They belong somewhere else. I'll just set these here for now. We've got a bin of laundry under there that we need to sort, but it's not a bit of trash anymore. We have sorted through all the drone stuff. So there's a box of drone stuff here. The plastic bin back there is a box of drone stuff. And the plastic bin here is a box of drone stuff. We will have to get all of that combined with some more drone stuff upstairs and just get rid of all of it. Just find somebody to take it. We have dug out our big pile of cables and moved it out of the way. That whole back area here is all recycle. It's all cardboard and plastic recycling, so that'll need to go out. But that's okay. But yeah, most importantly, like this whole area here used to just be like covered with stuff on the floor. I do need to sort through some stuff here, but this is garbage, this is garbage, this is garbage. We took the yearbooks out of a falling apart box. This is all laundry, some of which has been like helpful and not seen. So this is clearly a mess that I'll have to like take care of. Yeah, my water heater is about to explode and I learned that. So this is definitely not looking great. So I'll have to take care of that. Yeah, this is where like the cobwebby area is right now. So, hey, there's a spider, I think. Yeah, maybe not. No, never mind. But yeah, this is the cobwebby area. But yeah, so overall, it's a good first step. I don't think it leaves me in position to do the Lego build, given I'm going to be out next week. I don't think it puts me in position to do the Lego build next week. So, we'll probably have to reschedule that. Yeah. So, anyway, that's it. Thanks very much for hanging out. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed some of the stories and enjoyed getting to make fun of my giant disaster. Oops, it's doing the low battery thing again. Yeah, so here in my garage, I have a Lamborghini. No Lamborghini. But anyway, that's it. I'll be back not on Monday. There would likely be no stream on Monday. I'll be in San Francisco and I won't have time to do anything even as a premiere before that. So take care and I will catch you all later. Have a great weekend. Have a great next week. I'll be back next Friday. Bye-bye. How do I stop this?